I'm excited about Ecclesiastes, and I think the people, when they grab a hold of this book, I mean, they find that God takes a hold of them with wisdom. So here we go tonight. Let's talk about this one. This is out of Ecclesiastes 9, verse 10. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. For there is no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you are going. Now, I didn't mean to personalize that because I realize we're all going there. But when you think about this verse, what comes to your mind? This has really helped me shape what I do in life. What comes to your mind?
Opportunity. That's what's in front of us right now is really important. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? We don't know. God hasn't shown us that. Later on in Ecclesiastes, it gets into that we don't, nobody actually really knows what's going to happen. We think we have ideas. We read the scripture. We look at history. We have confidence in ourselves or lack of confidence. We think we know what's going to happen, but we don't. So what we do know is we have something in front of us right now. And I think what the scripture is saying is, seize the day. Take a hold of what God has put in front of you. There's something about taking hold of opportunity and not saying, well, maybe looking back to the past and thinking, well, I had an education that's above this, or I have expectations, or a lifestyle, right? I grew up in a different lifestyle than this, or I have higher expectations of my future and goals for my future, right? So you can diminish what's in front of you and not realize that this is what's in front of you. You get one chance today, and this is the opportunity you have. Tomorrow you might have a different opportunity, but you will not have the opportunity to work at what's in front of you today.
When you mentioned what's in front of you, when I got out of the Air Force, when I started this business in Orange County, California, not too far from Los Angeles, for those who don't know, what happened was that I worked hard. Then I became a real estate broker in California, and I worked hard, but I knew I had to do it with all my might. And I began to prosper, and I was acquiring real estate, but I had this compelling from God to pastor. And when God called me to the ministry, I can tell you this, it was that thing you're talking about, the change. I did everything I could with what I had, but when this happened, it was like all my might became a joy. And I gave it everything I had.
Well, it makes me think of the story of Joseph. Here's this guy who ends up as a slave, right? And he lives this out. Whatever you have before you, work at it with us. So he's a slave, and he prospers in that. He works hard in that. And then he's a prisoner, and he prospers in that. And he works hard in that. And the next thing you know, he's second in command of all of Egypt, right? And it was actually him taking hold of the opportunities in front of him.
Good.
And so here's the deal. People sometimes think, I can't accept and work hard at this, right? Because then I'm stuck here forever. If I accept this opportunity in front of me, if I accept the job that's in front of me, then I'm accepting it forever. That's not true. It's what's in front of you right now. What God gives you tomorrow might be wildly different or just a next step.
So the bottom line is that do with what you have with all your might and watch what God does.
If that's God's plan, if that's what God's doing, then why wouldn't we go after it with all our might? Once the sun sets on today, you don't get a second chance on today. And that's the important lesson here is life is a breath, so breathe. Don't hold your breath on the opportunities.
Okay, we'll pick it up again. It's good.
Good.